Hey, welcome back to the Fantasy 15. We're your source for fantasy football. We try to give you our top 15 charts all in 15 minutes. And then we go into what we like to call overtime, which I'll have my pretty familiar guest right now, Ryan Jones. He'll join us after that. And basically, we'll talk about all your sit and start questions, any trade scenarios that you may have. We'll also talk about the charts, what Ryan thinks about the charts. And then we'll also go into some different things that we've been trying to do here and kind of going head to head, such as our ultimate lineup, where Ryan and I go head to head. We choose what we think is our ultimate lineup for week 9. And right now, Ryan's trying to claw back, trying to get his first one in the win column. And you'll see, uh, unfortunately, Ryan is not going to get a win after last week. So he's looking for better luck going into week 9. And then we'll also have another segment that we like to call our best bets, that we take a look at the different spreads and the over unders for each game and choose our top five, five for myself and five for Ryan. And again, those are our best bets. So we're not telling you who to bet on. We're just telling you who we would bet on. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into our NFL slate in our 15 minutes. We'll go ahead and set the clock and take a look at our schedule. All right. So on Thursday Night Football, we got the Baltimore Ravens going against the Miami Dolphins. That's at Miami. Now, one thing to watch in this game is, yes, we did have Snoop Huntley. He played a good game last week and got the W for the Ravens, but you could see Lamar Jackson back for this game. So he was a participant in practice, and we'll just have to see throughout the week if he's going to get the start. If he does, I definitely like the Baltimore Ravens in this game at Miami. And one thing to just keep an eye on, usually Derrick Henry has a very good game when he has the combination with Lamar Jackson. So um, they really do a good RPO type game with each other, and it's really hard to cover both of those. So I do like that matchup for Baltimore. Chicago Bears at Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Flacco's been hot. Bears are a little bit of a slump here, coming off last week. I like the Bengals here at home. Joe Flacco's got that offense moving. I really do like it. So I like the Bengals there. The Vikings at Detroit. That's a tough game for the Vikings. Maybe looks like JJ McCarthy's first game back after his injury to his high ankle sprain. It's at Detroit. Detroit's clicking. I like Detroit in that game. Carolina Panthers at Green Bay. Green Bay's they're clicking as well. I like Green Bay. Most likely, hey, we'll probably get to see the Red Rifle again for the Carolina Panthers. Not a good start for him last week. Chargers at Tennessee. That's all Chargers in that one, no question. Falcons at New England Patriots. Drake May is cooking. Falcons, we may see Kirk Cousins again. Penix possibly still hurt. We'll have to take a look at him too throughout the week to see if he plays. Niners at Giants. Yes, they lost Cam Scatabo last week, but they did get Tyrone Tracy back. So that's still an effective offense that has been working even without Malik Neighbors. So San Francisco at New York. I like New York at that game as the home team. Colts at Pittsburgh. That's a tough matchup, but the Colts have just been solid all year long on offense and at defense. I like the Colts to go ahead and get a win at Pittsburgh. Broncos at Houston Texans. I like the Broncos at the Texans in that one. Inconsistency from CJ Stroud. We'll see if he can put it together, especially when he's had an injured Nico Collins, Christian Kirk. Are they back for this game? We'll see. He had a decent game last week, which is great. But again, not having his weapons, that can be something that just adds to the difficulty against that really tough Denver Broncos defense. Jaguars at the Raiders. I like the Jaguars in this one. The Raiders can't seem to figure out what's, nothing's really going right for Geno Smith. They got to get Ashton Genty going. But again, part of that is getting your pass game going. So I like the Jags. Saints at the Rams. That one's all Rams for me. And then a really interesting matchup is always Chiefs Bills in a tough one. That could be a high scoring affair. Chiefs do have a good defense, but Buffalo scored 40 points last week. Could end up being a high scoring one in Buffalo. I like the Chiefs to go into Buffalo and get the win. Um, Seahawks at Washington. I like Seattle in this one. We probably are seeing another Marcus Mariota type game, unless Jaden Daniels comes back this week. But even so, how healthy is he? So I like the Seahawks to go ahead and get that win over the Commanders. Arizona Cardinals at Dallas Cowboys. That's another one where you have another injured quarterback in Kyler Murray. Is Jacoby Brissett making the start, or is it going to be Kyler? So you have to watch again throughout the week how they're doing in practice. That may be closer to a game day type decision in that one. So I do like the Dallas Cowboys to get that win. Offense gets back on track on Monday Night Football. And then on your bye week, you have your Browns, Jets, Eagles, and Bucks. All right, on to our fantasy 15 top 15 QB chart. You can see we have a different look for you this week. But at the top of our charts in our week 9 spotlight, again, was Patrick Mahomes. Now, last week, man, it was interesting on Monday Night Football. He started that game with 2 interceptions, but then finished strong with 3 touchdowns and 299 yards. Facing Buffalo, it's always electric when those 2 teams face off. I like Patrick Mahomes as my number 1 quarterback. Dak Prescott versus Arizona at number 2. Josh Allen really got going, and again, those 2 teams, Kansas City and Buffalo. So, I like that one. Justin Herbert at Tennessee, I just think that's gonna be a dominating game to where Justin Herbert, he's gonna get his. Bo Nix at Houston. Bo Nix has been a point machine lately, so I like Bo Nix at number 5. And then Matt Stafford at New Orleans. Is Puka Nacua back? If he is, how healthy is he? But Matt Stafford was he was good. He had a bye week before, but in that last game previously, he still ended up with I believe at least 3 touchdown passes, all to Devontae Adams, in week 7. So, again, I like him in week 9 versus New Orleans. That's a good matchup for him. I like Jared Goff versus Minnesota. Drake May's been cooking as well. He's like the number 2 fantasy football quarterback right now. Other quarterbacks to watch, like I mentioned, Lamar Jackson, if he's facing Miami, if he's fully healthy, that's probably an upgrade for Lamar Jackson. And then also Daniel Jones. He's the number 6 fantasy football quarterback right now, and that's impressive. So it's not just a mirage. So take a look at him. He's at Pittsburgh. Yes, it's an away game, um, but again, he's been playing really well. But a lot of touchdowns are being taken in by Jonathan Taylor. All right, taking a look at our running back chart for this week. Familiar face, right? Jonathan Taylor, again, just a menace. In week 8, he had 12 attempts for 100, just 12 attempts for 153 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also added 21 yards on the ground, 21 yards receiving with a touchdown. So he's our week 9 spotlight running back, Jonathan Taylor, you know, just having one heck of a season, right? And turning back the clock a few years. Now, when we take a look at Jahmyr Gibbs versus Minnesota, again, another good matchup for Detroit in that one. That can be a dangerous game where Detroit runs away with that one. It's just, again, how good early is JJ McCarthy? Bijan Robinson at New England, does he get back on track? He only had five points last week, so kind of disappointing. I shouldn't say kind of, was disappointing last week against Miami, one of the worst run defense in the league. Does he get back on track versus New England? We'll see. Um, Derrick Henry, he's facing Miami this week. We'll see if Miami has another one of those run stuffing games. And then Devon A-Chain versus Baltimore. That's a good matchup. A lot of that offense is running through him and Waddle. So I definitely like that. James Cook had over 200 yards last week. And now facing that electric matchup versus KC, I definitely like that. And then McCaffrey at number 7 against the Giants. Um, Josh Jacobs, take a look at that. He was listed as questionable and popped up today on the injury report. So take a look at that throughout the week. One of the more impressive running backs, I believe the top 4 running back this year is Javonte Williams for Dallas. So facing Arizona, He seems to find the end zone even when he's not getting yards. I like Tracy for the Giants going against San Francisco. Again, there's no Cap Scatabo, so he's a three down back. He's getting those carries and he's getting those third down passing downs. Vidal is a sneaky one versus Tennessee, where that could be a sneaky one for him as well. And I do see you guys in the comments, and I just want to mention if you guys have questions, make sure that you get them ready for any start, sit, or trade scenarios. We'll make sure to get to those once we reach our overtime session and we get through these charts. All right. Other ones just to keep an eye on. Swift's kind of been on a tear. He's at Cincinnati going against a defense that gives up a lot of yards to running back. So something to keep an eye on there for sure, too. All right. Going on to our wide receiver chart, Jamar Chase. Again, Joe Flacco is targeting this man so many times. He had 12 receptions last week for 91 yards. He didn't have a touchdown, but trust me, with as many targets as this guy is getting, he's just waiting for touchdown. He's a touchdown machine when he's going to get that many looks. So it's bound to happen at some point. JSN coming off of a bye at Washington. JSN, again, he's one of those guys too, where he's just going to get double digit targets every game. So he's somebody that you have to keep your eye on. He's a 10 reception or a 10 target type guy as well. Same with Puka Nakua, double digits. So you got to like those guys. Uh, St. Brown for Detroit versus Minnesota. That offense kind of revolves around St. Brown and all the things that he can do, especially out of the slot. And then Rasheed Rice has been a double digit guy as well since he's came back for the Chiefs. And he's actually the number two wide receiver since he's came back from that suspension as a wide receiver in fantasy. So you gotta like that. One matchup that I would keep an eye on in again, Justin Jefferson versus Detroit. The only touchdown he has this year was thrown by JJ McCarthy. Could this be the game that he gets touchdown number 2? Lad McConkey, I like that matchup versus Tennessee. I like Jalen Waddle versus Baltimore. And then Marvin Harrison Jr. at Dallas. They're going to be playing a lot of catch up, and there's going to have to be a lot of passes thrown to keep up on that one. So I do like that matchup. Is Drake London back and healthy this week? We'll kind of see, and we'll see who's throwing the ball too. That does matter. Taking a look at our tight end, you got Trey McBride coming off of a bye week, so he's going back to our top. Now, he's not our week 9 spotlight because Tucker Kraft on tight ends day last week had such a good day in week 8. 7 receptions for 143 yards and 2 touchdowns. Very impressive. Tucker Kraft, he comes in at number 2 only because of the matchup. I like Trey McBride. Dallas is going to score a lot of points. So that means Arizona's going to have to throw the ball. Well, they love Trey McBride in any game, especially in a game that's going to be a point scoring one. So I have to love Trey McBride. The Packers, yes, Tucker Kraft had a great week last week. But still, that Packers offense is somewhat of a mystery as far as who they're going to throw the ball and who's going to be their top pass catcher. So for Arizona, it's been Trey McBride. So I like Trey McBride. Tyler Warren at Pittsburgh. Ferguson kind of got shut out last week. We'll see if he gets back on track versus Arizona. Brock Bowers versus Jacksonville. And then George Kittle, he got a touchdown. He didn't have very many yards and very many catches last week, but he still did get on the board with the touchdown facing the Giants. Aronde Gadsden, as a rookie, has had kind of amazing showing coming out party here the last couple of weeks. We'll see if he keeps it going against Tennessee, but I like how many targets he's getting. So Justin Herbert really likes him, and we'll see if that continues. I like him this week at number 7. Laporta at Minnesota. Kelsey was electric last week. This is a big game. I probably have Kelsey possibly even too low versus Baltimore. I do like Zach Ertz at Seattle. That's another one that's underrated. Dalton Kincaid versus Kansas City as well. Another one to keep an eye on is Dalton Schultz versus Denver. That could be one that could be a sneaky pick as well. Moving on to our kickers. My guy, Brandon Aubrey, as Ryan would say, at Arizona. Again, I just think it's going to be a high scoring affair for Dallas. And I think they're going to have the opportunity for Brandon Aubrey to just get out there and kick the ball a lot. Cam Dicker versus Tennessee. Josh Carty is a tricky one, and I think he's going to get a lot of opportunities versus New Orleans this week. Boswell for Pittsburgh versus Indiana. Harrison Butker at Buffalo. It looks like a decent one as well. You can see Matt Prater's also on there. Again, could be a high scoring one where kickers are definitely getting a workout. Eddie Pinheiro has, just seemingly been on here every week because he's getting a lot of opportunities. So we'll see how that keeps going. I do have Ryland on here for Arizona at number 11 at Dallas. And again, if Arizona's not able to put it in the end zone on opportunities, they're going to have to kick field goals just to try to keep up with Dallas as much as possible and put points on the board. So definitely something to keep an eye on. That's who I like for my kickers. That's my list. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the defense at number 1. And Ryan's going to love this. I have the Rams versus New Orleans. So New Orleans starting Tyler Shoe this week. This is going to be his first start as a rookie. So Rams, good defense. They coming off of a bye. They're fresh. Jared Verse coming at the rookie. That's good defense. That's going to create a lot of pressure on that young rookie. We'll see if he makes mistakes. I have them at number 1. Tennessee's been struggling. That puts the Chargers, who are coming off a good defensive showing against the Vikings last week, and a lot of sacks that they had against the Vikings on Carson Wentz, at Tennessee. I like them at number 2. Lions at number 3 versus Minnesota. Packers versus Carolina. Again, if that's Andy Dalton again, most likely he was just struggling. That offense was a little bit anemic last week. Broncos at Houston. Again, what CJ Stroud are we going to see in with the weapons that he has? And is Nico Collins healthy? So Jaguars versus Las Vegas. Geno's still struggling down there too. So the rest of the matchups are really tricky for the defenses, because you just don't know what you're going to get with those, so it's hard to like some of these, like Bears at Cincinnati. Joe Flacco has been lighting it up, and all of a sudden Chase Brown is running for 100-yard games. So it's really tough. New York Giants look like they got some offense. You take a look at Denver, and Bo Nix is lighting it up. Miami had 34 points last week. And the Ravens aren't a good defense. So it's hard to like those teams versus, as a top defense this week. So really, if you can, try to stick with those top 8 teams if you can on defense. That's what I have for my top defenses. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to pull up Ryan, who's here for our overtime show. Ryan, welcome to the show. How's everything going today?
Just another week, another loss. So we're battling through.
Well, it's been a tough one. But you have a good picks that we're going to take a look at. But let's take a look at.
We've set ourselves up for one of the greatest comebacks in history of all of sports.
Well, you would have to come back first before we can get to that point.
Set myself up for the potential of one of the greatest comebacks ever.
Well, let's take a look to see what did happen last week. So
I don't know I know what happened.
Well, you know what happened, but let's see what happened for the followers. So this was a good lineup. I thought that you had, and to be honest, we had a couple stinkers on both sides. I didn't get the points I thought I would get out of Ibuka or CMC, and then on the other side of the coin, Bijan Robinson. I really thought that was a great pick by you.
What? Where's Miami been? Like this is the time Miami decides to show up. And Atlanta, what are we doing, dude? What are we doing? The one drive that Atlanta looked good, they get down close and come on, dude. I mean, that's just overall. I mean, we have the pick of the litter, and it's one versus one, and you expect a higher point total than that from both of us. It's a bit of a pillow fight, to be honest. So we got to do better overall. But I mean, just 121 points.
Kind of a stud pick though that you had.
Defensive Falcons got me The Dolphins looked like the best team in the NFL last week against the Falcons. What is happening?
I got to give you props for your Saquon pick. I actually thought that was a very risky pick that I thought gave me a pretty significant opportunity by you picking up Saquon, and that for sure paid off for you too last week, and definitely had me worried as
Well, it
that was
didn't
one
because
of
I
the early
lost.
that was the early game. So it definitely had me worried. But
Yeah.
131.06 to 120.92. I go to 4-0, you go to 0-4. It's a new week, clean slate. So I mean, you got a new chance. It's kind of like we say, both you and I are Vikings fans. This is going to be your week, right?
Yeah,
So
jeez.
this
I
week's
mean,
going to be your week.
friggin' Jefferson too. Like, I mean, Carson Wentz. Just, I, I got more to say on that. But anyway, let's talk about this week's line. All right, I'm ready, man.
Yeah,
Clean slate. We
week
just
9,
gotta go
right?
1-0. That's it. We gotta go 1-0. Focus up. Let's go, team. We got it this week.
All right.
I'm rolling it back with Josh Allen. Let's go.
You did, and your first pick was sniping me. Of course, since you lost, you got to go first again, and you sniped me. You took my prized possession, which was Jonathan Taylor. So that maybe tips the scales a little bit now this week. So Jonathan Taylor was the first one off the board. So being that you went running back, I decided I would go wide receiver. I took Jamar Chase. You came back with Jameer Gibbs. I came back with JSN. Uh, I think these are both pretty good lineups on each
Yeah.
side. You want to talk about yours and why you wanted to go with your lineup first?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, Jonathan Taylor's having one of the best careers at the running back position that we've seen. You know, if you really compare the numbers, total scrimmage yards, touchdowns, yards per carry, he's I think ahead, just barely ahead at the same point that Saquon was this point last year,
Mhm.
if not like right in line. And so he's in the running for MVP. Uh, I think a lot because like we haven't seen too many quarterbacks totally jump out. Like Daniel Jones and Darnold having great years. Don't get me wrong, but I kind of like if I was a bet man in a future, maybe a future on Taylor because I'm sure it's plus money. Might not be a bad idea.
Mhm.
But so I think every week he's going to be up there with top 3 choices and running backs, no matter the matchups, and he gets the touches for it. So he to me was I had to grab him because I knew you would have. Uh, and then Gibbs. Vikings haven't been good at stopping the run, and traditionally Gibbs has burned the Vikings. Same with St. Brown. They've been a problem for this Vikings team ever since Dan Campbell's been there. So that's why I went with 2 Lions players, and then you got Nakua and Bowers coming back from injury, and they're getting plugged right into the lineup. So I guess we'll kind of see what happens. Bijan screwed me so bad that I decided to take him again because I'm a glutton for punishment. So let's see what happens. And yeah, so I don't know, man. I honestly felt more confident about my lineup last week than I do this week. So, but you know what? We're gonna put all that behind us. 1-0.
It's a new
Gotta go
week.
1-0.
It's a new week. I think you have a really good lineup. It's going to be tough to beat you this week. Um, at quarterback, I got Lamar Jackson. Now, again, if he doesn't start, I'm able to sub him out. But Lamar Jackson, if he starts, I do like that matchup for him. CMC, I don't know how I feel about that. We'll see against the Giants. It's not my favorite one, but you got my Taylor. So it is what it is. CMC is going to get his catches and his receptions as well too. So I'm kind of banking on that helping to support and maybe him finding the end zone at least once on the day. He had a bad week last week. Devon Achane, I'm really hoping for a good week again for him against a Baltimore defense that struggles. Chase gets his Najigba JSN. I'm just counting those as slam dunks. they're going to get their points. Same with McBride. Lamb, I'm really hoping. So the way that I see Lamb, and I was really torn. It took a long time for me to make that. He was my last pick. The way that I did this, and CD Lamb, he's about a 10 target a game type receiver, and for some reason, he gets open on long bombs, and that's usually where he gets his touchdowns. So he's not necessarily that red zone threat, and he doesn't get as many targets and balls or touchdowns that way. They're usually on long catches. So I'm really banking on him getting those 10 targets and taking one into the end zone. And then again, Aubrey, one of the best kickers in the league, and then the Chargers D going against that Tennessee anemic offense is really the way that I went. So I think this will be tough matchup. This will be really close. You got a pretty scary lineup that could definitely give you some big points this week, especially if Nakua is healthy.
Right. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens there. That the usage rate with him in that Rams offense is him and like Chase and Smith and Jigba. Like they're getting 1 billion targets a game. So
we're going to go ahead and dip into some of these because I'm getting quite a few comments already. So we're going to jump into some of your sit questions that you guys have. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw that back up on the bottom. If you have more start, or trade scenarios, make sure that you send it in chat on either YouTube or X. And again, we're powered by Viking Central. So if you're streaming and watching this on Viking Central as well, please make sure just send it in the chat on the live stream that you're watching. We'll get it in our inbox and we'll go ahead and address that question, pull your question up on the screen. The very first one we have is on YouTube from Infinite Pilot. Start Hunt or Monty. Good find, Infinite Pilot. So Kareem Hunt this week, it looks like Isaiah Pacheco is not going to start. And we saw what that meant last year. And when Kareem Hunt got the opportunities, he was an absolute point monster last year. Now, the caveat to that is you have Brashard Smith that's on the roster, and he may fill in for that Pacheco role and still eat away some receptions that Kareem Hunt would have otherwise have got like he did last year. And then you got Monty on there too, but I really like Kareem Hunt this week just because of the Buffalo Electric matchup. That's just kind of where I'm at.
It's your bias talking.
It is, but I mean, I'm not.
The Vikings have showed no reason why the Lions can't just shove it down their throat the whole game, and Monty has 3 touchdowns inside the 5-yard line. So
Montgomery does, but Jahmyr Gibbs has really been getting the points in the ball lately.
Yeah, but they both get in the end zone. I don't know. I think I would probably start Montgomery this week just because of he's going to get. I think he's going to score.
All right. Well, you got 2 different opinions there. I do like the Kareem Hunt. And if he wasn't already in your lineup, you better scramble and get him now because someone else is gonna snatch him up. Because you might get to start him for a couple weeks to where he could put up some points, especially if you need a running back on a bye week. Yeah. The next one we have on YouTube is coming from Galaxy Pickers, leaning towards starting RJ Harvey, who had a good week, over Bill this week. Who's he talking about for Bill?
The Commanders running back, Bill.
Oh, yeah.
Korsky.
Gotcha. McCroskey. Yeah, gotcha.
I mean, I gotta go. I would have to go Bill. Like RJ Harvey, that's recency bias. He had 7 carries last week. He just happened to have 3 touchdowns. He had 1 catch, and that 1 catch was a touchdown. He had 7 carries and 2 touchdowns rushing the ball. Like you can't bank on him just scoring touchdowns every time. So and Bill is the premier back for the Commanders.
If J.K. Dobbins wasn't there, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a totally different game, but RJ Harvey is not the featured back there, whereas Bill is. He just gets the ball way more. So you gotta go Bill there, in my opinion, if you're trying just for home runs and hoping that this touchdown streak continues for Harvey. I don't think that's the recipe for a winning formula. But what do I know? I'm 0-4.
So Krosky had a terrible week last week. I think he had like 33 yards last week. I think they try to get him back on track and get that running game back on track this week. There's no way they know that's not a formula for winning. So I have to think that they do a better job of trying to get that running game going. On to Jason Ortiz from YouTube. Start one this week in ROS, Caleb or Nix?
Probably, I would say probably Nix, just because I know Houston's defense is tough. So, and Caleb has Cincinnati. I don't know, man. It's just, I guess, I hate Bo Nix so much. Like, I watched him so much in college. And he's just always the same guy. I don't know.
But Bo Nix has been
he's been good, but Houston they get after the quarterback. They got a tough defense, and Cincinnati has the virtual opposite of a tough defense. So I don't know. Bears probably move the ball a little bit. They still got a bunch of weapons. He'll get his guys the ball, probably throw a couple touchdowns. So I'd probably go Caleb. My initial reaction without looking at matchups, I was thinking Nix, of course.
So matchup wise, you're absolutely right. So Caleb has the better matchup over Bo Nix this week. If the matchups were a little bit closer to even, I'd probably go Bo Nix. But matchup wise, I'd probably lean towards the matchup that Caleb Williams has over Bo Nix, and I'd probably lean towards Caleb this week. And you got to think that Denver's also the road team on that one as well, too. That sometimes makes that matchup a little bit more difficult. So
yeah, no doubt.
We could be wrong, but again, I would just lean towards the matchup, and it's going to be one of those games with Cincinnati's been scoring some points, and they have a bad defense.
Yeah.
So I mean, if Caleb can't get points going against the Cincinnati Bengals, who can he?
Yeah, 100%. Steve, did you get a new camera, man? Like I can see your pores. It's so good.
So I had to download the settings deal, and I finally found my autofocus to fix that. So that's been an improvement, right?
Yeah.
Jason's got a couple more questions though for you. Oh man, he's got a lot here. He's got a lot here back to back. We'll try to run through this. Who is the best pickup, handcuff, and waivers? Spears. So Tajay Spears, he has Pollard, so he's got the handcuff as well. Tuden, Gainwell, Kenneth Gainwell, he's Tank Bigsby, Nick Chubb, Monangai, Perine, or Singletary.
Good God. The Titans are awful. I'd probably go Gainwell.
Man. Wow. I kind of like Tank Bigsby. Just if Saquon were to go down, I think he's got the potential to be huge. But then also Kenneth Gainwell. I like Kenneth Gainwell as well too. If Jaylen Warren were to go down, Kenneth Gainwell has shown the ability to get in the end zone as well with Warren when he was injured. Nick Chubb, when he's had the opportunity, just hasn't really hasn't done a whole lot.
Yeah, it's been like sad carries.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, hey man, you've been in the league a long time. You've done some good things. We're just gonna keep giving you.
Yeah, so those are the two I would kind of lean towards myself. Monangai though is definitely a sneaky pickup. Yeah. If Swift were to go down. And to be honest, if you're in a dynasty league or a keeper league, Monangai could be a sneaky one if Swift were to get traded this offseason.
Yeah. I'm also not a big believer in like rostering like handcuffs. Like I feel like you should put people on your roster that are A, that you might have to use at some point, yep, or B, that you can use to be able to make trades if you need to. So it depends on the league, obviously. It depends on what kind of league you're in. But I'm just not like a you
think it
know,
depends on the offense too. You
yeah.
know,
Maybe if you have a running back who is habitually injured,
A-Chain.
and yeah, well, yeah, or yeah, well then Gordon for
Yep.
Miami might not be bad. And then and of course CMC's backup is usually a good one to keep. But other than that, just, you know, play your waiver wire the right way.
We're going to try to get through the ones that you have here, Jason, before we move on to some of these other questions that I have coming through. Start one this week in ROS, Ertz, Fant, Theo, he's got Dart, TJ, Schultz, Ingram, Loveland. I like Ertz and Loveland out of that list myself
Oh, you can use some Loveland, huh?
this week.
Where like I don't, they just don't use them.
It looks like
And
Met
I
might
know,
be out, so
but still, I don't know. I like Ertz for sure, and probably I think maybe Schultz is going to have a good game. I like Schultz.
okay. Jason, I know you got a few more here, but I'm going to come back. I'm going to get to some of these other questions. Spicy Cloud off YouTube. Is DK legit? Devonta Smith is out this week, and it's been Troy Franklin and DK. So I felt like a waiver hero last week, starting Troy Franklin on my dynasty team last week with some a lot of buys. I picked him up on the waivers and started him, and had an amazing fill in. He got me over 30 points. I think like 30 points last week. And that was great. Now, Troy Franklin has definitely been seeing an uptick in targets in that Denver Broncos offense.
Yeah,
DK, I mean, it's hard to say because you got to look at the quarterback at Tennessee, Cam
yeah.
Ward, and how much do you trust him to be able to get him the ball in good positions? So, I mean,
Maybe he's just, I don't know. The Titans suck. You got to go with Frank. I know, again, they're playing Houston, so it's tough, but I don't know. I'd start Franklin over him just because he had just because which
mhm.
what a like every time I see his name I think of a different word. But he he, he could be good. We don't know. Cam Ward needs to get through his rookie season, and we'll see if the Titans can do something off season and actually start to really rebuild. But as for now, I'm not. There's not a Titans player that I do like. So
You may have a couple fans on here. Fabiano Pinto. I don't know if you know him, but he says Jones 0-4. No.
yeah, yeah, I know him a little bit. Yeah, that's all right. He can he can talk that trash, and I can show you the standings in our fantasy league, and then we'll see who's talking. But that's fine.
This might be another one of your boys, clowning. 0-4. Damn, Jones, let's
I
go.
know, man. It's embarrassing. I don't know how I show my face around. It's so bad.
You'll get there. This could be your week. Marcus
One and
Soto
zero.
from YouTube. All right, 62-12 man, full PPR, quarterback made love, A-Chain Bucky. Bucky's probably out again.
Yeah.
Actually, he's on a bye. Henry, Woody, Jason Amachi. All right. Ideas for playoffs. Marcus, can you kind of elaborate with kind of what you mean?
I mean, if you're looking for guys that you might want to trade for, I'd probably maybe try to upgrade the tight
Wide
end
receiver?
position. Yeah, wide receiver too, but JSN's been amazing.
Now he might be.
Always great. Oh, he's
Yep.
got Kittle. I didn't even.
So the trade deadline
I
is
missed that.
Tuesday. We'll see if Njoku gets traded from the Browns, and if that's the case, Fannin stock actually goes up.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt. I mean, I guess it kind of depends, like where the people in your league are standings wise. Like if the guy who has Jonathan Taylor is like in danger of missing the playoffs, and
Yeah.
like that's the only guy he has, and that's why. Like then maybe you can make a play with like Bucky and Henry for
Right.
JT, but there's so much nuance that's involved with it. There's guys I like, but I mean, obviously you have a really solid team. I think Drake May's probably a
He's
top
one of
10
the
guy
top.
all year. And A-Chain is such high usage rate. Bucky, when he's healthy, is awesome. Derrick Henry.
Mhm.
Now that Ricard is back, the fullback for the Ravens, he was hurt all year, and now he's back. And Henry had a great week in the first week he's back. So, but the thing about Derrick Henry is he always, like throughout most of his career, he usually starts really good, and then as you get toward the end of the year, he kind of tapers off a little bit. So
Mhm.
it might be but this year it's kind of the opposite. He started really slow, so we'll see what happens as it goes. But you know, if you
I
could
mean,
put together Bucky and Henry for like Jonathan Taylor, or Bucky and Henry for I don't know, maybe even Bijan, like it might be worth it, just because as you get in the playoffs, then you're taking essentially what two guys score and turn it into one guy, and that gives you another roster spot for you to start someone else. So I don't know.
if you could maybe even package, depending on how this trade deadline ends up going this week, and say Njoku is traded, maybe you trade one of them between Kittle and Fannin, and package Woody in with that, and try to see if you can upgrade maybe your running back or wide receiver positions. Now, if you're trading Woody and you got Bucky, Henry, and A-Chain, then upgrade your wide receiver. So take Woody and either Kittle or Fannin and flip that for, can you flip that for a Lad McConkey maybe?
I mean, yeah, you might be able to shoot higher than that, but yeah,
But something like that.
like that, yeah.
Next one we
I,
have
I
is
like Say Flowers too. Like he's got low value right now, and as Lamar comes back, that's a good pickup.
Andrew Burwell from YouTube says, "Sup fellas, I traded Sutton, A-Chain, and Charb for Puka and Terry McLaurin. My wide receivers are Puka, Waddle, Pearsall, Terry McLaurin. My running backs are Derrick Henry, Saquon, Dowdle, and Bam for half PPR. Thoughts?" Well, for one, you already did the trade, so it kind of is what
I
it
mean,
is. But so the only thing I would say is I'm just not a big Terry McLaurin guy. And I know scary Terry. He's for what he is. He's more of a touchdown. He's very touchdown dependent.
he's a deep threat, big deep threat.
He is. So he's a boomer bust guy, and when he busts, he's a bust. Puka every day. I love that pickup. Having Waddle, Puka and Waddle are going to be a dangerous matchup for you. Once
Are
Pearsall
they?
gets back, I like that as well. But
Yeah.
you know, you have good running backs with Henry and Saquon, but Dowdle, now that Hubbard's back, um, that makes it tough.
See. Yeah, I guess we'll kind of see what happens there, because I feel like Dowdle did everything to prove that he should be a featured back. So,
Mhm.
I mean, it all depends on how they decide if they decide to keep it that way.
I mean, that
Um,
was a good upgrade for your wide receivers because you really kind of needed that. So, I mean, I don't think it's a terrible trade. Getting Puka alone, he's almost like a guarantee for, again, those double digit points where he's going to get you 15 to 20 points every week as long as he's healthy.
mhm.
Um, Terry is, again, he could be a hit or miss type guy. That's just one where you have Waddle. So unless you have a flex position, that's where I think you just might be
Yeah.
a little bit light.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about Waddle. I don't trust to at this point, but he had a good game last week, but the week before he wasn't even targeted. So
Hmm.
who knows what they're doing? They're just so they're so they're like schizophrenic. I don't even know what to do with the Dolphins.
And
But
now,
A Chain's a target machine. So
mhm.
I mean, he's a usage machine.
BD off YouTube says PPR league return touchdowns are 6 points.
Nice.
Parker Washington, Jaden Higgins, Kendrick Bourne, or Christian Kirk.
Have there been any kickoff or touchdown returns this year? Like, I know there probably has been, but I can't think of any.
I can't think of one.
I really liked how Jaden Higgins looked this past week, and Kendrick Bourne, to be honest with you. I don't know about Kirk, but I mean, I like
Kirk's been injured, and he just, even when he's been healthy, he hasn't really been a factor in that offense. Kendrick Bourne has been really good for the 49ers, but a lot of that is due to the injury. So what happens to Kendrick Bourne when everyone comes back and they're healthy?
But
now, does that happen?
Who's all coming back? Because I don't think Ayuk's going to play this year. I just don't. I think there's some internal
Juwan
stuff
Johnson and Pearsall.
Juwan Jennings. I think he'll be back, and Pearsall will be back, and that limits Bourne. I agree. I do like, especially with Nico sidelining. He's not playing this week, right? Like, I think
you got Jalen Noel. You got Xavier Hutchinson that's also there, along with Jaden Higgins. That's kind of playing with Nico and Kirk injured. I really like Jaden Higgins for the future and in keeper and dynasty leagues, or that you can stash on like a taxi squad. I think Jaden Higgins has the potential in the future to kind of be like possibly even like a Mike Evans type wide receiver with his size. But as far as like right now, if you need him for a couple of weeks, I like Kendrick Bourne.
Yeah, no, I agree.
The long term out of those, I'd have to go Christian Kirk for the long term this season, just because he's going to come back and actually be a starter. Parker Washington, yes, he's kind of getting some plays in there too with Miami with the Tyreek injury, so I guess maybe him too.
Yeah.
But for the short term, over the next 2-3 games, I like Kendrick Bourne.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I like Bourne definitely next couple of weeks, but I really like Jaden Higgins also. Those are my two favorites.
Ricardo's Rudin Yawn over to Mac G over on YouTube. He says it's a hot Thursday night for Derrick Henry. Yeah, I mean,
well, the fact that neither one of us picked him in our ultimate lineup proves he's definitely gonna be like RB1 this week. So because neither of us picked us, him and James Cook are gonna go off this week because neither one of us picked him.
Now, in all fairness, I do have Derrick Henry at number 4. I do like him. I just the uncertainty of who's going to be at quarterback is really something that kind of affects the Derrick Henry thing for me.
Yeah.
So if Lamar Jackson's there, I mean, those guys go together like peanut butter and jelly. Burke Tunser, PPR League. I traded Sharb for got this team. Okay. Brock Purdy, Derrick Henry, Will Marks, Puka, George Pickens, Laporta. His flex is DK, Rams, and Prater.
Okay. Is that a question?
Yeah.
All right, man. Good job.
Forgot this team. So, I mean,
nice.
Brock Purdy. I mean, that's not doing anything for you right now, though.
Well, no.
So hopefully you got a different quarterback that's starting.
Well, is Joe Mixon coming? Is he going to play this year? What's going on?
Mixon? Man, I mean, there's been a lot of uncertainty with him coming back, but once he comes back, what happens to Woody and Chubb?
Yeah,
that's the question. You know, and they're probably going to ease him back, and is that like a 3-back rotation going on?
That's what I'm saying.
Could be crazy. Oh, his bench.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so we had this as his starting team.
I traded. There's so much happening.
And then his bench, Saquon, Tank. Oh, there's Zach. He traded for Sharp. Oh, he's got Bo Nix. Okay, there's his quarterback. Yeah, I mean, you got a good team in here. There's a lot of good pieces. Unfortunately, you got some injuries in here.
Wait, why is Saquon on his bench? I don't understand. Are they in a bye?
I don't know. He might be in a.
Maybe they're in a bye.
I mean, they are in a bye this week.
Yeah, that's why.
So that's why
I got you. But normally he's not on the bench.
All right. So let's go to Mac G. I have a trade offer for Pickens. He wants a 2 2-for-1 with Judkins. All right, so Judkins is included for Pickens, and he has Stephon Diggs, Travis Hunter, Quentin Johnson, Brock Bowers. Now, Mac G, is he willing to take any of those guys?
So let me get this straight. He has a trade offer for Pickens.
Mm-hmm.
He wants a 2-for-1. So he wants to give you Pickens, and you have to give him Judkins and someone else. Is that the way I understand it?
If I'm the
is
guy,
that the way you understand it?
Yeah.
So he's giving up Judkins and someone else to get George Pickens.
Is that there's a lot of questions here because it depends on who you have at wide receiver and who you have at running back for me a little bit.
Yeah,
because I do like Judkins as a running back. Pickens, yes, he's still been pretty productive, but he is the number 2 on that team. So just something to consider there. But he has Stephon, so I'm guessing he has to package something with Judkins to get Pickens. So if that's his wide receivers, because he's trying to upgrade his wide receivers, if he's going to take Judkins, because you have good running backs, I'm guessing that's why you'd be willing to part with Judkins, then I would say Travis Hunter. Bye.
Like least valuable?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he's willing to take that, yes. Travis Hunter and Judkins.
Oh, but the last game they used Travis Hunter a lot.
I hear you.
They might have just found something.
I don't know. I think I'd probably give him Travis Hunter. Quentin Johnson was really good at the beginning of the season, and he's coming back from injury, so maybe he just needs to get worked back in.
That's what I'm thinking. I would pick Johnston over Hunter. Sure. I don't know. I think Hunter's usage rate is just he's gonna get more and more targets every week, I think.
I've been a Travis Hunter hater. I'm gonna stay in that camp.
Yeah, I don't understand.
I'm gonna stay in that camp. I'm not gonna move off of it right now. I'm gonna die on that hill for now. Marcus Soto, YouTube. Hey guys, thanks Skull. Hey Skull Marcus. Traded Charb for Pearsall. Okay,
I like it.
Yeah,
Pearsall gets tons of targets, and I don't know what's happening with Ayuk, so I like it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if there's nothing more frustrating than the Seahawks backfield. So
right. Yeah. Oh my gosh. BD Park has a punt return. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Punt return, not a kick return. The kick return situation is it's just hard for.
Just go back to the CTE kickoffs. Would you trade Marvin for Tyrone Tracy? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
He's RB1
just this season. Absolutely. He's probably on track for the more productive, consistent games that you're going to get out of Tyrone Tracy versus Marvin Harrison, who's just kind of a boomer bust.
You want a Marvin Harrison insult stat?
Shoot.
Guess how many broken tackles he has in his career. So last year and this year combined. Guess how many broken tackles he has?
4. Is it 0? I was like, it can't be 0. Really?
He's never broken a tackle.
That's crazy. That's wild.
Yeah, I get your receiver. So
get in the weight room, my guy. All right. Jacob Fanta says he's 7-1. Congrats, man. That's awesome. 12-man PPR. He's got Mahomes, Dak. Awesome combo.
This guy's just bragging. Like, he's not even asking a question. He's just like, look at my lineup. Tell me how awesome I am.
Oh my gosh.
Good job, Jacob.
The one thing I would say, okay, so he's got Kelsey, Gadsden. Should I do Javonte plus Dak plus more for?
Oh, there's the question.
Okay. I like the idea of doing a trade. I was going to suggest that actually before I got there. If you have Mahomes and Dak, try working some kind of a trade. I don't think I would get rid of. I don't know if you can start a flex probably in your league, but I like keeping Saquon, JT, and Javonte if you have injuries. I like those 3 together. But if you could somehow trade Dak and DJ Moore, and you could get Justin Jefferson or a DK Metcalf, I would just do a 1 instead of trying to.
I wouldn't do it for DK though.
Right. I would
Dak
say
and
go.
DJ Moore for
Yeah,
DK. I guess I would do that. Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. Dak's been really good this year. I know you're probably not going to start Dak over Mahomes a whole lot,
no,
but
probably not. I mean, he's pretty consistent now that he's got Rashee Rice back as well too with Xavier Worthy
yeah.
and Travis Kelce. He's got his weapons, but I do
I'm,
like the idea of just going for one. I think if you go too big, I think now you have a hole at your running back position.
I don't like getting rid of Javonte Williams. That's tough.
And Javante's been one of the best.
He's been good.
And Saquon's been kind of inconsistent most of the year. So he's
Dallas
only
is going
had
to
one
score
breakout
points.
game.
Man. Dallas is going to score points. There's no question. So I don't know. I'd hold on to Javonte.
All right. I gave up Daniel Jones, Rico Dowdle, and Wan'Dale Robinson for Derrick Henry last week. Thoughts?
I mean, I already kind of told you how I feel about Derrick Henry now. I like Derrick Henry the rest with Patrick Ricard back.
Yeah, so I'd have to go back and look at your team again. But here's my thing with Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is the number 6 fantasy quarterback this year so far, and we're already to week 9. So unless you have a really good number 1 quarterback and a decent backup, Daniel Jones, especially if you're in a dynasty, he's going to get extended by the Colts for a long-term contract. I like Daniel Jones. Rico Dowdle and Wan'Dale Robinson, yes, they're expendable, but that's not going to get you Derrick Henry. Man, if you could, I mean, I would try to keep Wan'Dale. I really think that you don't have to give up all 3 of those to get Derrick Henry. I think even just Daniel Jones and Rico Dowdle should be able to get you Derrick Henry.
Yeah,
because Derrick Henry's actually he's kind of a buy low right now.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, he said he already did it, so that's the problem. But it doesn't really matter what we think. But
you're right.
But I mean, Daniel Jones has been so solid.
Yeah, I think it was a slight overpay, but if that helps your lineup, yeah, if that's what you had to do and you don't have any holes now, then great. Other than that, I think maybe a slight overpay.
Yeah.
Jacob Fanta says I got offered Dak straight up for DK as well. Oh, okay. So Jacob Fanta was the one that had this scenario. Yeah, I would do that. You got Mahomes. I would do that.
Yeah, well, who's his quarterback? What's his record, and how much better are you gonna? No, I'm talking about the guy who's trading him to. Like, how much better are you making his team by giving up Dak? Like, is it something you're gonna have to worry about come playoff time?
Yeah, but I mean, if you only have to give up one and you get to keep Javonte,
and his receivers are Abuka. Yeah, I would do it.
Yeah, I think that's a total win for you. You can go get somebody as a another quarterback for a spot start if you had to. Yeah. So I like that. That's all I have for those questions right now. If you have any more, just keep them coming. Definitely appreciate it. And if you're not already following us, make sure you can go to our Linktree /fantasy15FB for more fantasy 15 content. Make sure that you're following us on social media, again on our X. That's fantasy 15FB. You can go ahead and follow us on X. Same thing with YouTube. And then these episodes are uploaded onto Spotify after we're done. And then we're looking to also build our TikTok channel and start putting some content out there too here in the future. But now our next segment, we're going to go ahead and move into our best bets that we had. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at Ryan's week 8 best bets. Ryan, not a great week.
Hey, look, I was 2-3 this week. I was 3-2 last week, 5-5 overall. If you're betting the same units on all my bets, you're not losing money. So if you're tailing me, which, of course, these are my bets, you don't have to follow them. Mm-hmm. It's just, what I'm doing. But yeah, I mean, also
we saw Snoop Huntley having a great game against the Bears.
Yeah. What the hell? That was kind of crazy. I thought Chicago plus 6.5 was a for sure. And
yes, Bo, we're still taking fantasy questions, so keep them coming.
And then Dallas. I mean, Bo Nix just decided to have a game of his life. I know it's Dallas's defense, but whatever. And Minnesota, oh god, don't even. That was such a homer pick. That was so stupid. That's why. Don't bet on your team at home, folks. Bet on other teams. But other than that, I mean,
The heart wants
Miami
what the heart
Falcons
wants.
under. Miami Falcons was exactly 44, so just
It
barely
was
eked that one out. And Giants
34 to
Phillies
10.
was our fun over, and yeah, that one hit pretty easily. So
I ended up going 3-2 last week.
boom.
Bengals. I really thought the Bengals had that in the bag, and then all of a sudden, Justin Fields, I don't know, turned on his go-go jetpack, and the Jets came back and actually won that game 39-38.
Yeah.
So I took the L in that game. Won on the Tampa Bay New Orleans Saints by a large margin.
Mm-hmm.
Niners, Texans. I took an L on that one. The Texans had, again, CJ Stroud decided to have a great game last week. I
Yeah.
also left him on my bench in fantasy on my dynasty league last week. Indianapolis Colts, 14.5 spread. I thought that they would cover, and they did. Again, that Tennessee Titans football team is awful right now.
Yeah.
And then my over that I picked was Green Bay Packers, Pittsburgh Steelers. That more than well did it over that margin. Got a W there, so that puts my overall record at 7-3.
Nice.
So for the most part,
that Colts cover was that. I mean, what a pick on that. It's just, it's hard for me sometimes to wrap my head around so a team beating another team by more than 2 touchdowns in the NFL because it's such a competitive league, and yeah, I know how bad the Titans are, but no, that was a hell of a pick.
appreciate it. Well, let's take a look at what we have for our picks this week. And we'll go ahead and start with Ryan, your picks for week 9 in your best bets.
Yeah, Ravens, Miami under. I know, both teams don't have particularly great defenses, but Bears suck, bro. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I think it being like a short week and all that, I like the under in this game. Those Thursday night games, a lot of times they're just trying to get out of there without injury, run the clock out. So I took the under in that one. I feel like Colts -3.5 against Pittsburgh. I mean, has a team in the NFL looked better than the
Thanks,
Colts
Mac.
this year? What do you say?
Oh, Max said
I missed
Baltimore
it.
is a win tomorrow with a Derek TD with it.
Oh, added Derek T. All right.
No, I think Derek's. I mean, again, he's going against the worst run defense. I like that. I like Derek. I have Derek in another one of my leagues.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping he goes off.
Yeah. No, I got Derrick Henry in one of my leagues too, so I'm with you on that. Yeah, Colts to cover against Pittsburgh. I feel like 3.5 is doable. I like Bills as underdogs against the Chiefs at home.
Mm-hmm.
I just that matchup's
That's
always fun.
One.
It's always fun. One. Yeah. Seattle at Washington. Washington hasn't looked very good. I think they can win by field goal. And then Giants. I like Giants as underdogs at home. I just, I like what I've seen out of Dart, and mm-hmm. that team feels like they are really rallying around their rookie quarterback, and the defensive line for the Giants is, in my opinion, probably the best in the league. You got Thibodeau and Burns and Dexter Lawrence and Abdul Carter, and it's just like, dudes are just playing some ball on the D line for the Giants. So I like the Giants as underdogs at home.
Now, so what happens if Lamar is playing in that Baltimore-Miami game? You still
like the under? Yeah, I like it's a Thursday night short. It's one of those games. I don't see 52 points being scored.
Okay,
no matter what.
I like your Colts pick, your Seahawks, and your Giants. Those are ones that I definitely like. Mac G says Lamar is playing. That's what I've been hearing too. But again, we thought that he was playing last week, and then later in the week, it ended up he wasn't playing. So I really hope he is playing this week. They definitely need him. They're very fortunate that Snoop Huntley was able to get the win here last week. So Bo, I do see your question. We'll get to it as soon as we get through our best bets. And then we'll move on. Mac G says Lamar destroys in Florida. That's what I'm hoping for.
But
But
the Dolphins still have to score some points
with
in
my
order
ultimate
in
lineup,
order to
I
hit
need
that
Lamar.
over.
Yeah, I need Lamar to do great. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Going on to my week 9 best bets. I know. But guess what? I'm trying to be not as non-biased as possible going in this. I don't have a great feeling, especially after what I've seen. And again, I mean, we haven't seen JJ since he was since the Falcons game. So
Where's my
Detroit,
JJ destroys in Michigan?
yeah, well, we'll see what happens. I would be very delighted if I was wrong on this pick. I don't think I
No.
am. So I'm
No,
going to take Detroit with
if
that
they're
8.
gonna lose, at least lose by 9. If they lose by 3, you're just gonna be annoyed.
So if that angered some Vikings fans out there, I mean, I'm just being real, being realistic. Skull Vikings, you see it in the background, but I'm just trying to be real here. Chiefs Bills, I think that has the possibilities of being an electric game. I'm going to go ahead and take the over. I do like the Broncos at Texans. I know Texans have a tough defense, but again, CJ Stroud, Jekyll Hyde. Let's see what we get. I like Denver with the +1.5, and then the Chargers at
I
Tennessee.
hate Bo Nix.
I think this is maybe the best money pick. Again, this is who we're betting on, not telling you who to bet on. But I love this Chargers at Tennessee pick. I think the Chargers are going to destroy the Titans.
Yeah, I was going to pick that game, but and then but the only thing I just the Chargers don't travel all that well. They got a long way to go for this one.
Well, I think they're going to travel well enough to get 9.5 is what I'm banking on. So at least win the game by 10 to go ahead and pay off on that money line. And then my last one, Arizona at the Cowboys. We don't know if Kyler Murray is starting for sure. It looks like he's leaning towards starting, and if that does maybe change things a little bit. But again, I don't know if they can keep up with the scoring of the Dallas Cowboys. And even when Kyler Murray has been in the game, Jacoby Brissett has arguably looked better than even Kyler Murray. So Dallas 2.5, I'll take that. So I think that's actually a pretty good bet, and they get them at home. They got CD back, Pickens, Ferguson, Javante. I just think it's too much offensive power to not win at least by a field goal.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. There's not a whole lot that I would argue with. I guess I hope the Bills Chiefs game does go over. That'll be fun. I hope you're really wrong about the Lions -8.5.
And Bo said he liked your over on the Dolphins.
I took the under.
Oh, he likes the over on the Dolphins. Sorry.
Yeah, he likes the over. That's cool, man.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of with you, Bo. I actually think that may be an over game that I like. If Lamar's playing, if Lamar's not playing, then I don't like it. And that's why I stayed away from that one. But Detroit wins. JJ isn't that good. I mean, the quarterback.
We don't know, man. We just don't know. We don't know if he's good.
So we just gotta see him play, and that's one where I'm just I'd love to be wrong on that game. I'll take the L if that means the Vikings or stay within 8.5. I'll take that. I'll take that L. I'll be happy about that one.
I mean, I'll tell you if Van Ginkel and Darrisaw are both playing the whole game and are healthy,
is there a new Call of Duty coming out? Is there something that Mac G knows that I don't?
He's gonna retire soon. Yeah,
he might getting a job.
He's at that point where it's like, it might, if he was really gonna consider trying baseball, this would be the time to go try it, because he's not. I don't know if he's gonna be a Cardinal for long. That's for sure. You want to be a career backup quarterback or go try your hand at baseball? Because he would have been the first pick in the Major League Baseball draft. He was that good at baseball.
I hope he sticks around for a little bit longer, because I still have him in my dynasty league and I need him to stick around for at least another year or two. But we'll see what happens. This is Ryan and I's week 9 best bets. You saw Ryan's. Here's mine. We'll see how we do this week. Again, every week we're going to go ahead, make our best bets, and review those the following week. And so far, at least together, we're on the plus side so far. And we do have another question from Bo. Bo says somehow ended up with 3 tight ends with McBride as well. What should I try to get for someone like Kyle Pitts, and then maybe package with like a Sutton, Dak, JCM, uh, or Rasheed St. Brown, Lamb, 12 mount PP.
I'm not sure I
Maybe
understand.
package with. Oh, okay. So he wants to package with Sutton, Dak, to try to get Rasheed St. Brown or Lamb. I think that's what he's trying to say. I don't know who his other tight end is.
Somehow ended up with 3 TE.
Yeah.
3 tight ends.
Bo, who's your other
McBride
tight
as
end?
well.
Who's your other tight end that you have?
I'm trying to get it for some.
And you're trying to package to try to get Rasheed St. Brown or Lamb is what I think you're trying to do.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't understand the question.
Yeah, I think we'd have to see a little bit more as far as your lineup. But if you can spare somebody, I don't like getting rid of McBride. But if you can trade Pitts, absolutely. I would say package Pitts in. Yeah. So Bo says he's trying to get rid of Pitts because he has McBride. I agree.
Got it.
He wants to package with one of the guys listed above and wondering what value I can get.
Sutton or Dak.
So do you have Rasheed St. Brown and Lamb? Are those yours?
Yeah,
or
no,
those
he's like
potential targets?
I think he's trying to say he could get Rasheed St. Brown or Lamb if he puts Kyle Pitts. I mean, I don't know who's going to trade you Rice, Brown, or Lamb for Kyle Pitts and Sutton. Like I wouldn't do that.
He said that's what he's trying to do.
But hey, if you can do it for sure. I don't know who. I don't think anyone in any of my leagues would do that. But if you can, go for it.
Yeah,
that'd be a great pickup. You're not going to start Pitts.
Yeah,
you're not going to. And so, really, you got to think you're not going to start Pitts especially when you have McBride. So you're really subbing Sutton and Dak. I mean, you could probably include Dak in it, and you're getting St. Brown or Lamb or something. That's sick.
I think he said actually he says he has them. So he has Rasheed St. Brown and Lamb. So if that's the case, yes, package Pitts and Sutton and go get rid of go find yourself a trade partner. If you need a quarterback, go ahead and package Dak with them as well too. Yeah, I mean, if you got Rasheed St. Brown and Lamb, yeah, take a look at your running backs and try to do an upgrade there.
Tyrone Tracy.
Yep, something like that. Though
you could probably pay pretty low for Tyrone Tracy right now.
And you could possibly do Pitts for Tyrone Tracy, just straight up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Something like that.
Maybe but if you package
Sutton for Tracy.
Yeah, but if you were to package like Pitts with Sutton or Dak, yeah, you could get yourself a pretty good value, whether that be a running back, wide receiver. You absolutely can get something like that. But trade Pitts. You got to find a trade partner first and see what they need other than just Pitts. So you got to find somebody that needs a tight end and then see what else that they could possibly need. And that'll make your decision for you as far as who you package with them to try to get a higher value, possibly running back to help you out. All right. That's really what I have for questions so far. If you have any more that sneak in, please send them our way. One of the things I just want to talk about, again, we talked about Lamar Jackson. He has that hamstring issue this week, so we'll have to see. It looks like he's going to play, but again, just something to keep an eye on as we get later in the week. We're only at Wednesday. Michael Penix, that's another concern too. So is he going to be starting, or are we going to see another week of backup play? Kyler Murray is another one to watch too. Is it going to be Brissett or Kyler? JJ McCarthy should be a full go here. I haven't seen nothing that says he's not going to be starting this week.
Full practice.
Yep. And something to watch over the bye week. Saquon, he did have a groin pull, but again, he's got that bye week, so hopefully recovery time, and then coming in week 10, maybe he'll be good to go. We know that we lost Scatabo, so again, Tyrone Tracy has been upgraded. And then Nico Collins, he's still in concussion protocol. He's listed as questionable, so we'll have to see if he ends up coming back. Otherwise, you may see another big week from players like Xavier Hutchinson, Jalen Noel,
Mhm.
and maybe Jaden Higgins. So you still have Christian Kirk that's trending like he's not playing this week. So just some of the injuries that I would keep an eye out for.
Also,
Best-
Roma Dunze didn't practice today.
he did not. Okay. So keep an eye on that. That could be an upgrade for DJ Moore or maybe even a Luther Burden.
Mm-hmm.
But we mentioned already Isaiah Pacheco being out, which means Kareem Hunt gets a bigger workload, and same thing with Brashard Smith.
Yeah.
Anything I missed on that? I'm sure that there's something
Mm,
out there that somebody has questions on.
Drake London's been practicing, but they don't know.
You're right. So that is one too to keep an eye on in the whole quarterback situation. So that's kind of tough. You don't know who's going to be the quarterback. You don't know if Drake London's going to be there. That's just a rough one altogether.
Kirk wants to be traded.
uh, well, we'll save that for a different podcast, right? Anything else that you have to add?
No, I mean not that I can think of right now.
Mark G says Lamar is playing trust. I
believe
so.
he's playing. I still take the under.
So again, if you're not already following us, follow us on social media. Definitely appreciate everyone joining us today. So make sure that you check out our link tree. If you're not already following us and subscribing, please make sure that you do so. That's one of the ways that you can support us. Make sure that you're catching us each week. We're trying to do this every Wednesday around that 9:30 Central Time. So go ahead and join us. Make sure you have your questions ready. We're going to try to prepare you every week, giving you our top 15 charts, giving you our best bets, our ultimate lineup, anything that we can do to help prepare you to make sure that you're making your fantasy football playoffs come week 15. Ryan, one last
I
thing.
did
Let's
promise I would talk about Carson Wentz.
Oh, you did.
So real quick, and I'll make it brief. Seen a lot of stuff on Vikings Twitter, and I know this is fantasy football podcast, but I'm going to talk Vikings for just a second. A lot of stuff on Vikings Twitter talking about Kevin O'Connell being irresponsible for Carson Wentz playing with a busted shoulder. Listen, he knew he had a busted shoulder, and he knew what he was getting himself into. And he knows he's been a habitual backup quarterback for the last how many years. This is an opportunity to show that you can play. You want to put this on the coach? No. The coach is doing his job, what he believes is best for the team. And Carson Wentz has something to prove. That game in LA was a disaster. And that was going to be a disaster for whoever played quarterback position in that particular game. Team didn't show up. Nobody was ready to go. So you know what? The fact that he was trying to battle through a shoulder injury and then he's on the sideline laughing while they're getting their freaking butts kicked. Listen, football players are football players. They're tough dudes. Ask every one of them. They've all played through injuries. Stop trying to put it on the coach. Stop trying to say the coach was irresponsible. Kevin O'Connell's an amazing head coach, and Vikings fans need to start realizing that. And while you can question some of his play calling decisions at times, there's maybe 4 or 5 coaches that you would take ahead of him in the NFL right now. So cut the crap with that. Carson Wentz is hot trash. Who cares if he had a shoulder injury? Doesn't matter. He was there to fill in a position while they try to develop a guy. So stop, please.
We're getting some comments now. All right. So this is one thing I'm going to say. Props to Carson Wentz for trying to play through an injury, but, you weren't effective. And yes, we had a lot of issues as far as now, if the team's not ready to play, whose fault is that?
That's, 100%. I also low key think they kind of threw that game away. Like not like intentionally threw the game, but I don't think that they were really going to risk anything crazy from happening in this game. And they were like, look,
he wasn't effective.
We're going to use this short week. We're going to use this short week. We're going to kind of go through the motions. We're going to show up, see what we can do, not show a lot of the playbook. And if we get our asses handed to us, then so be it.
The injury part, I kind of, it's kind of a props to Carson to trying to play through it, but at the same time, like, um, you see him, he's injured, he's not being effective out there. You know, the right thing would have been to pull him. I would have liked to have seen Max Brosmer.
But
Yes.
why?
What are we gonna see with Carson Wentz?
Exactly that. Just it's
Yeah,
but
I would have
but
rather give
why
him
throw
max
in
opportunities
why throw in Mac to get his ass kicked? Like
because I think
they were
Max is probably gonna at least throw the ball away instead of hold it
the
and just
game was never they had no shot in that game, didn't matter who's quarterback. So just let Carson Wentz go out there and get his butt kicked. Might as well.
yeah.
Don't go injure your other quarterback. They knew after that game he was gonna go on IR. They knew it.
I think early
And
in the
Carson
game,
Wentz knew it. They knew he had a torn labrum before the game. And he
well,
knew that was it.
yeah. Well, I mean,
So who cares?
I don't want to put the injury on Kevin O'Connell because if he was too injured to play, Carson would have said he's too injured to play. The doctors would have said he's too injured to play, and they would have made that call. So I'm not going to put that on him. The only thing I would say is, I think I would have made the change if he's injured, and that's the kind of play or lack of play that you're going to get from him. I still, even with the offensive line health issues, I still would have liked to see Brosmer out there if that's the case. Now, here's a question. So Carson Wentz has these kind of injuries and he can play, but JJ can't.
Yeah, well, one of them you're investing into the future. The other one you could care
I
less
get
about.
it. I get it.
The other one you care less
Kind of get
about.
what I'm
One of
saying.
them,
They're saying that his arm's damn near about to fall off the way that they're making it sound, but
yeah, non-throwing arm. Let's be clear.
I understand. But you
And
get what I'm saying? So how
yeah,
bad was the injury? So if we're gonna play it up
yeah,
and we're
but
talking
again,
soft
you're
benching, he's
investing
injured.
into the future of a guy. Like he is.
Yeah.
You can't do what you did in the offseason and then do what you've done so far this year just to then try to push him back from an injury early. I think the soft benching thing's way overplayed. I don't think he was soft benched. Like that's crazy to say, in my opinion. Yes, are they being extra cautious with it? Absolutely they are. But that's for the right reasons.
Mac,
If JJ's trash, no one knows if he's trash.
nobody
Like that's
knows.
such a stupid thing to say. Like, sorry, Mac, but no one know you. Like
We
you
don't know.
if he's trash.
We
No
gotta
one
play him
knows.
and see what he's got.
If he is trash, I'll be the first one to. It's Wentz is awful. I mean, he's just a bad quarterback. It doesn't matter. It's his fault, but whatever.
So we do have some more questions coming in. Brian, he says, "Hey folks, Ramondre Stevenson or J.K. Dobbins this week is my RB2. Also Diggs or Addison, leaning Addison. I actually like Ramondre Stevenson this week. Man, that was a mouthful for me. Over J.K. Dobbins, just because J.K. Dobbins, again, you're seeing R.J. Harvey get a little bit more touches, but then you're also going against a really tough Houston Texans team at Houston. So I actually like Ramondre Stevenson this week as your RB2, and then Diggs or Addison this week with JJ. I just don't know what we're getting. He had really good chemistry. This is his first game back with Addison,
Right.
so we'll have to see. I don't know. Addison's been electric since he's been back, so I'd like to go Addison because everyone's been double teaming JJ.
Mm-hmm.
And it just seems like Addison's had some really good matchups lately. It's just a matter of, is JJ going to be able to get him the ball?
Yeah. I mean, Lions have had some secondary injuries that they're kind of battling through and trying to get guys healthy. So, yeah, I would definitely lean Addison over Diggs this week. And yeah, I like Stevenson over Dobbins this week as well. The only problem is if he has an early fumble, it's going to be all Henderson. But he's had some bad fumble issues this year. Stevenson has. So if he can hold on to the ball, I like Stevenson.
Brian says thanks, good night, and then Mac G said thanks, Brian, appreciate it.
It's another year lost. It's time to choke and draft the quarterback you need. Mac, what quarterback would you take in this upcoming year's draft? He doesn't have the arm he didn't in Michigan. Arm strength has not ever been an issue for JJ.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know where that narrative came from either. But
I
all
think
right,
the big thing has been accuracy so far
yeah.
that we've seen. So
Far in 7 quarters, 2 of which he was playing on a bad ankle. Look, I'm not a guy for making excuses. It's just no one knows if he's good. Like, you have not seen enough of him to know he's good. It's impossible. Like, do you know if Cam Ward's good right now? Do you? No. Like, and we have a lot more film on Cam Ward than we do on JJ McCarthy. No one knows if Cam Ward's going to be a good quarterback or not. Shoot,
so
jury's still out on Caleb Williams, if you ask me.
I'm trying to think here now. Give me 1 second. I'm just trying to look it up now because I can't think of his name. So the Houston Texans, when they had Malik Willis on their roster,
When they have Malik Willis,
they did. The
yeah,
Texans did. But now he's over at Green Bay. He gets some starts, and now he looks like a totally different quarterback. And are they having remorse? There's people that want to trade for Malik Willis, just because of what they've seen so far. Was that just a flash in the pan? It's really hard with quarterbacks, and the best thing that you could do, Caleb Williams, I think, has had like 24 starts. That's the best thing you can do is play him and see if he actually got something or not.
mm-hmm.
And 2 games versus 24 that Caleb Williams has, the sample size is just not enough to make a determination right now at JJ.
Right. 2 games, really. I mean, 6 healthy quarters.
Yeah.
Without your top all-pro left tackle. Come on.
And you're right. And you're right. He may not be good. His weapons are not good. Now, yes, he needs an upgrade there as far as his weapons go.
He may not be good. He may be good.
Correct. Absolutely. I mean, we've seen in a lot of cases, we've seen it go both ways. Look at CJ Stroud. Look at Jaden Daniels. Have great freshman years, and then they have the sophomore slump.
Well,
so
I think Daniels has had some injuries, and that team's a little bit different this year too. But yeah, but your point stands true.
So I mean, I just think they need some time, because you don't, sometimes, I feel like somebody look at, ooh boy,
team, give me team.
Browns,
quarterback.
Yep.
Dylan Gabriel.
Nope. Sitting on the bench, massage dude.
Oh yeah, Deshaun Watson.
Everyone thought, especially after his rookie year, he never had another year that even came close to his rookie year because a lot of defenses were trying to figure him out. And once they did, he's never been anything since.
Oh yeah,
so
massage dude.
Massage dude. Man, it's hard to even take one season and then say, oh, we got the guy after what we've seen after, what was, was he rookie of the year that year?
He had to have been. He was dynamic.
Everybody thought he was going to be great. And CJ Stroud still might be after his rookie year. He had a bad year last
year. CJ Stroud's had a fairly good year this year.
This year has been, I will say he's been decent this year.
And they have a terrible offensive line.
He's had some injuries this year on the receiving end, which
terrible offensive line.
Correct. All right. And then Watson never cared after the money. I'm sure the loss
he never cared
in the mental game probably didn't help with everything that was going on. But still, I mean, the Browns pay the guy because he thinks they got something really, really good. And they, they're paying for it now. So we'll just have to see. That's a lot on the whole JJ Wentz thing. But I just think Ryan and I are both on the same page. You got to play the guy and see what you got. Because right now, you got a $20 bill. You got to see if it's a $20 bill.
You got to play him if he's healthy. I'm in the camp that I don't care if it's even a slight bit like uncomfortable for him at this point in his career. Don't even bother playing him yet. Let him be healthy.
Yeah. Well, again, this has been a pretty long fantasy 15 now so far. I think we've ran through all the questions. I do want to again thank everyone for the interaction on YouTube, on X. Again, if you like to watch these episodes on Spotify, this episode will be uploaded later as well on Spotify. So thanks again for joining us. You can also catch Ryan and I on Viking Central. We'll have the Viking Central pregame most likely this Saturday at 9 p.m. Vikings versus the Lions on
Let's go,
Sunday.
baby.
So at Detroit. So we're going to go ahead and give you the keys to the game on Saturday. Make sure that you join us for that. About week 9 fantasy football, Ryan's going to go ahead and try to get his first win in the ultimate lineup. And Ryan and I are going to try to go ahead and try to do our best with our best bets again this week and continue having a positive record. So for Fantasy 15, this is Ryan. I'm Steve. And thanks for joining us again. Thanks, Mac. Appreciate it. Have a great one. Good luck with your fantasy football this week in week 9. Go get that dub.